On this weekend edition of the Daily Dose, I want to focus on one particular phrase in James chapter 5, verse 12. It's this pantone, the pantone. And you can see in the ESV translation here, it's translated above all. Literally, the is before, followed by the genitive. This is a preposition that takes a genitive object. So here we have the genitive plural, all things, before all things or above all things. And most English translations follow that translation. Some say something like most of all or most important of all. And it gives the impression that what follows is most important or above all the things that James has said. So we're expecting something very significant here. And it's not that it's not significant, but it is somewhat jarring when you go on. And the above all thing is not to swear, right? And this is not swearing in the sense of cursing, but do not make oaths, right? Do not swear by heaven or by the earth or by any other such oath, but let your nigh be nigh, let your yes be yes, and your no be no, in order that you don't under judgment fall, so that you don't fall under judgment. And just this last week in a doctoral seminar, we were reading the DDG. The DDG is an early church manual, probably late first century. It gives a lot of different instructions, and we're reading a section in the DDG chapter 10 where a series of different thanksgivings are made to the Lord, instructions about how to give thanksgiving to the Lord. And in this list, the last one is introduced with pantone, right? Before all, here, this translation given here, just cut and paste in here from Bible Works, before all things. It gives, again, the impression this must be the most important thing in the list. But then when you go on, it doesn't conceptually fit with the most important thing that's been listed. It's we thank you, addressing the Lord here, that dunatase, that you are mighty. And then it ends with this doxology, to you be the glory, eis tous aionos, into the ages, forever. And it's a reminder, isn't it, that sometimes certain phrases are best not translated literalistically, because that's not how they're functioning in Greek. So to give an example in English, when someone says, what is up in American English, imagine someone centuries from now saying, well, this is a question about what is at a higher elevation as opposed to what is a lower elevation, as opposed to what is down. But we realize that what is up is a friendly, idiomatic greeting that means what is going on. And we can draw the analogy, imperfect though it is, to pantone. Pantone just seems to be a marker. It's like finally, kind of wrapping things up here. Let me go on to add something else. And if you look at Patrick Harton's commentary, Patrick Harton has written a very helpful commentary on James in the Sacropagina series. And if you look at his comments on James 5:12, he references several other pieces of literature that discuss the way this pantone is used in papyri, is used in letters preserved in the papyri, essentially as an idiomatic, let me finish this, let me wrap this up. And why is that important? Well, if you don't understand that, then you're left, aren't you, when you're teaching or studying this, trying to wrap your mind around how is this injunction right here to not swear, to not take an oath, the most important thing before all things. And people go to creative lengths in trying to make this fit. And others, however, recognize this is more of a idiomatic Greek phrase introducing something towards the end of the letter. In fact, you can find a similar use of this. The only other use of pantone, I believe, in the New Testament in this way is 1 Peter 4:8. And there it's the context is a little bit more ambiguous as to, is this really something that Peter is emphasizing? But based on the parallel I've shown you today and many other parallels that are available, it seems that it's just more of a loose, idiomatic, transitional phrase saying, okay, let's wrap things up. All right, finally, one other thing, that kind of idea.